Hi, I'm Jen from Acadian Accounting Education, and today we are going to practice looking at bills in the bank feed. So if you would like to grab a copy of the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description, and let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that bill. Now, this exercise is being pulled from our Level 1 ProAdvisor certification course, which, if you would like more information about that course after we go through the exercise, be sure to click on the link in the description. Let's dive in and read through today's scenario. Craig has decided to hire his niece Carla to help out in the office and wanted to teach her how to process bank feeds. Unfortunately, they don't really know what they're doing. They've added a bill but don't understand why they're not seeing it in the bank transactions. Can you help them understand what's going on here? Now, to do this exercise, you're going to need to be in the sample company. If you're not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, be sure to click on the link in the description. I have the sample company here on the left side of my screen. Once you sign in, this is what it will look like. This is the dashboard. So let's go ahead and get started with the exercise. Craig leases some space from Hall Properties to store his equipment. Let's add their monthly bill of $900. So to do that, we're going to click on the plus new button and then select bill. So the plus new button is on the top left corner of the screen. Click on that. And then under vendors is bill. Go ahead and select that. Once it comes up for us in the vendor field, we're going to select Hall Properties. Now, if you get this AI pop out, just go ahead and click on the X to exit out of it. We don't need it for this exercise, but just know that it is there. So go ahead and click on the down arrow and scroll down a little bit to Hall Properties. You'll note that Craig has previously paid Hall Properties, so this previous payment will automatically be filled in for you to use again, which you can see down here. If you didn't want this to happen, though, you can make the adjustment in the account and settings. There is something that is currently turning on where it will pre-fill based off of what the last bill was. So we are just going to leave this as is, and we're just going to click on Save. We're going to stay in this transaction, so make sure you only click this Save button here. And now it has been saved. But let's take a look at that transaction journal because Craig had said that he added the bill, but he didn't see it in his bank feed. So let's see why. We're going to click on More and then select Transaction Journal. So More is on the bottom here. Click on that and then select Transaction Journal. When you do, you will get the transaction journal specifically for that bill that we just created. Once it's finished loading up, there we go. Now we can see what actually happened here. When you save a bill, you're just recording what money you owe. Okay, so it hasn't left the actual bank account yet. In accrual accounting, the money that you owe is recorded in the liability account called accounts payable. Liabilities are on the credit side, so when they increase, they are going to increase on the right side. The expense account, which is this rent or lease, has also increased. Now, this usually lives on the debit side, and so when it increases on the left side. Remember, debits and credits always must equal each other, and so it is, in fact, doing that here. Now, because accounts payable is a liability account or money that you owe to someone else, it will appear on the balance sheet because the balance sheet is comprised of assets, liabilities, and equity. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. To get to the reporting center, we're going to click on reports on the left navigation bar. So left navigation bar, halfway down is reports. Just go ahead and click on that. And then once it comes up, we are going to click on balance sheet. It is here in the business overview section, but it is also a favorite since that is a very popular report. So go ahead and click on balance sheet. And once you do, it will be run for you. Now, the balance sheet total includes all bills that are currently unpaid. You can click the number to see exactly which bills are included in the title. Or excuse me, not the title, but the total. So if we're going to scroll down, here we have all of our assets, and then down here are liabilities and equity. We are looking for this one right here, the accounts payable. So go ahead and click on the amount there that is at the end of that line so that we can see a transaction report. Now, if you take a look here and scroll to the very bottom, you will see the Hall Properties bill that we just created being added to the total for the accounts payable. So you can see it all the way down here at the bottom. All right, so when can you expect to see this bill show up in the bank feed? Well, when it is paid. So let's take a look at that. Go ahead and click on bill in the Hall Properties line. So I need to go back here to the very edge or the very end here. Click on bill on the Hall Properties line so that we can have that bill show up for us, the one that we just created. So we are going to say that this has been paid. We're going to click on mark as paid. And we are going to say that this was paid from the checking account. So in this bank credit account field, make sure that it says checking. And then we need to click the checkbox to select the bill that we are paying, which is this one. Mine automatically selected it for me. If yours doesn't, then just go ahead and click on that checkbox. Now, unfortunately for this, we can't just save the transaction. We have to save it and close it and then come back into it. So let's go ahead and click on Save and Close on the bottom right corner of the screen. And this is going to return us to that transaction report for the balance sheet that we were just on. So now let's go back and return to the bill. We're going to once again click on bill from there. And then once it comes up, you can see now that the payment status has changed to paid. Let's go ahead and take a look at that bill payment transaction. Go ahead and click on that. And you're going to have a date appear for you. Now, it's going to default to today since that's when we created it. Your date may be different than what you see on my screen, and that's okay. So go ahead and click on the date right there. And this is the payment that screen that we just saw a few minutes ago. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the transaction journal now that the bill payment has been recorded. Let's see how it affects those accounts. So once again, we're going to click on More and then select Transaction Journal. So More is on the bottom, then Transaction Journal. And it'll take a moment here to process. All right, so here we go. The money has come out of the checking account when he made that payment, so it has decreased. Bank accounts are assets that live on the debit side, but when they decrease, they actually move to the right side or the credit side. So that is why it is showing here on the credit side. Now, money has also come out of accounts payable. Since we no longer owe it, the account has also decreased. Accounts payable is a liability which lives on the credit side, but when a credit decreases, it moves to the left side or the debit side. So that is why that one is showing here. So money was decreased in the checking, so it has to be credited. And the amount of money in the payable, the liability for the accounts payable has decreased, so that gets debited. Now let's see how the payment has affected the balance sheet. Once again, from the left navigation bar, we're going to click on Reports. So go ahead and do that. And then we are going to click on the balance sheet. Go ahead and do that to have that run for us. Now, money came out of the checking account, so you should see this account reduced. Let's go back up to the assets section, and you can see checking is right here. Go ahead and click on the total on that line. And once it comes up for us, we can scroll down on that list at the bottom and we can see that Hall Properties bill payment that we just made has reduced in the checking account by $900. This negative 900 is what that indicates. But what about the accounts payable account? So let's take a look at that one next. Let's go click on back to report or summary report, excuse me. That's on the top here. Click on that. And then we want to scroll down to the accounts payable row, excuse me. So scroll down and we are back in the liabilities section. Here is accounts payable. Go ahead and click on that number to see how that account has now been affected. So if I scroll down, and we see the first one up here is the bill, and then this is the bill payment. So as we can see, the original bill showing here for $900 was added to the accounts payable account. And then the bill payment right here, once that was paid, it has reduced or removed that same exact amount from accounts payable. So now what about that bank feed? The bank feed only reflects money that has actually gone in and out of the bank. So the record you see there will be for the bill is at the when the bill is paid, not for the bill itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. On the left navigation bar, we're going to hover over transactions and then select bank transactions. So that is over here, transactions, bank transactions. Alternatively, you could have just clicked on bank transactions. It is bookmarked here in the sample company and it would have taken you to the same place. If this is your first time in this area, you will get this pop up. We do not need to do anything with it other than just close it out. So go ahead and click on that X. All right, so here we can see that the bill feed, or excuse me, the bank feed is matching the bill payment, not the bill. So I'm going to scroll down until I find Hall Properties. Here it is right here. Now note that this is not matching the bill payment that we just entered. If you take a look at the date here, it is not going to default to today's date. We are just using this as an in the exercise for an example purpose. We cannot currently add bank records that would match today's transactions. So just know that you can see here that the bill payment is what is matched, not the bill itself. Now, what if you never recorded the bill payment or the payment of the bill in QBO, just the bill itself? Let's take a look at that. First, we need to delete that bill payment. So click anywhere on the Hall Properties bill payment row to expand it. Don't click match, just click anywhere on this to expand this information. And then we are going to click on bill payment 11. Go ahead and select that. We want to click on more on the bottom, and then we're going to delete this transaction. So we're going to delete that bill payment. You're going to get a question if we really want to, and yes, we do. So go ahead and click on the green delete button. And with no bill payment to match to, QBO will attempt to match the unpaid bill. So let's see what happens when we do that. So I'm scrolling back down to Hall Properties. You can see the bill is showing right here, and it is thinking that it is matching that bill. Go ahead and click on match to see what happens. And now we'll go back and check the vendor record. So to get to Hall Properties vendor record, we need to, from the left navigation bar, hover over expenses and then select vendors. So expenses is halfway down on that navigation bar. Once you hover over that and select vendors, we need to click on Hall Properties. So scroll down halfway down there. Go ahead and click on their name to get it to show up for you. And this is their vendor record right here. Now, even though you clicked match, QBO has added a new bill payment transaction. So let's take a closer look at that. I'm going to collapse this here just so I can see a little bit better. Feel free to do the same if you want to. So let's take a look at this bill payment right here. Click on that. And then we're going to click on One Online Banking Match. Now you can see this pop up here. And as you can see, QBO has recorded it as manually added. Now, as a rule, although you can record payments via the bank feeds, the correct workflow is to mark the bill paid first and then match the bank record to the payment. So that is how you would handle that in the bank feed, that bill in the bank feed. Now, if you like this exercise and you would like to do more like it, or you would like more information about that Level 1 ProAdvisor certification course, be sure to click on the link in the description, and I will see you next time.